Hi, I'm Hardik.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
We're students at Ashoka University, and we're really happy to go over our solution posed by BAML, which is a steel company. There are four key problems that we've identified for BAML, and we'll go over them in limited detail. Samantha, do you want to take over the first problem of commodities?
Yes. So I'd like to first talk about iron ore. And we know that Bamil consumes about 1.2 million tons of iron ore annually, which means that an increase in price has a drastic effect on the EBITDA. So for iron ore, we propose a hedging strategy such that we reach 80% hedging for iron ore. To do so, the breakup that we're thinking of is using 30% of futures, 50% of long call options, and 20%, of course, leaving it unhedged. In terms of coverage, we want to gradually increase from 60% to 80% over the years to ensure the liquidity of BAML stays intact. Moving on to coking coal, since coking coal prices are highly volatile, more so than iron ore, we recommend a hedging framework wherein we try to achieve 85% of coking coal to be hedged. And we'd like to use 70% of futures and 15% of call options, and of course, leave 15% unhedged. We gradually again increase hedging coverage from 60 to 85% over the years, keeping liquidity in mind. Hardik, over to you to talk about the rest.
Thank you. I'll go over the FX first. We believe the major problem for FX comes from USD INR and Euro INR. Euro INR is a bigger problem because USD INR nets out and exports net out imports, which is why Euro INR is a bigger problem and why we're using 90% of a future options mix to first hedge against Euro INR in the first three halves of the year, which is H126, H226, and H127, and then we start also hedging USD INR at the same rate. The reason we cannot use derivative hedging for Nigerian naira is because the market is too thinly spread and the volatility is too high, making the option premium too high. For Nigerian naira, we suggest making an offshore Singaporean account where we can route money through for Nigerian naira conversion. For the floating rate debt, we believe we can use two different instruments. One is an interest rate swap, and the second is a cap strike. 30% is the interest rate swap, 70% is the cap strike. In the interest rate swap ensures that we have some predictability in where the market is going, where we can lock in the price early on. Whereas the 70% of the cap strike ensures that we keep the upside from SOFR going down, which is what our ML model predicts. Lastly, I want to go over the freight and supply chain risk. The longest freight route that we have is from Tubarão in Brazil to Paradeep in India. We believe that if we're presently sourcing 50% of our iron ore from Brazil, we should shift 80% of that procurement to Australia and 20% from Brazil. Similarly, we should shift out 100% of our coking coal procurement from to 70% of coking coal procurement from Indonesia, 20% from South Africa, and 10% from Richards Bay in Australia. We're also using derivative hedging for freight, where C3 futures are used for Tubular and Paradeep, and the rest are hedged via COA contracts, which help us lock in the price. We believe that these solutions combined, when we go into more detail, will actually help us preserve a lot of the upside and help BAML become profitable in the next 3 years. We hope you like these solutions. Thank you so much.